What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are back with another Hot Toys figure unboxing and review, and today we are featuring Baylan Skoll based on his appearance in the Ahsoka series. This is the second figure for now that I am collecting from this specific series. I am looking forward to getting a lot more figures from the series. There have been a lot of figures that have been released. I think it's in between 12 to 15 figures, and again, this is the second one that I get so far. The first one being Admiral Thrawn, which we unboxed a couple of months ago. Before I do start on the video, I do want to make sure I say RIP to Ray Stevenson, who unfortunately is no longer with us, and he is the actor who played Baylan Skoll. Just very unfortunate that he's no longer with us. He did such a phenomenal job of playing the character himself, and I wish we would have gotten the opportunity of seeing him a second time. I do want to let you guys know I did get the figure off of Sideshow Collectibles, so as always, we'll include the link on the description of the video if you guys do want to go ahead and get the figure yourself. So with that being said, guys, let's go on and get started with the review. Okay, we get to the design of the box. So we're gonna get your typical colors for the design, and pretty much we get a black colored box along with pretty much an image of Baylan Skoll himself, the figure, not the character. We do also get the metallic colored Star Wars logo in the middle of the box, and then we get a blue colored banner along with an image of Baylan on the right side. So as we can see, the color scheme is going to be the same for all Ahsoka, all of the figures from the Ahsoka series. So it's that kind of, I would say, kind of like sky blue color to the banner, and I like the fact that it's the same for every single figure from the series. On the right side, just a black color background as always, and we continue with that banner that goes around the whole box. So even though, you know, I've always been very upset with knowing the fact that that all these Star Wars figures have the same design of the box. As you guys can see on the back, we get warning and legal information. One thing that I have started to look forward to is those banners, just to see what color scheme are they going to be for each specific figure. Right here on the left, we just get a black background again with an image of Baylan and some logos for Disney, the figure, and Star Wars itself. So I would say the box is pretty much just the same as always, but I like the fact that they're starting to get a little creative with the banners, this time being blue colored, just like it is for the Admiral Thrawn himself. And then as we remove the top cover of the box, now we get a wallpaper banner. That's also something that we are getting accustomed to with Hot Toys figures. It's got some images of Baylan himself, and the background is pretty nice. We also get a Star Wars logo at the bottom and the name of the figure. One thing that I'm really liking about these wallpapers is that the background matches so well, some fantastically, with the figure or the images of the figure. I think the color scheme is well done, so I really like that a lot. And now we pretty much have the plastic covering to the box itself, where we can see the figure and all of his accessories. I am very excited to see how he looks. I thought that the promo pics were great, and I thought the head sculpt was fantastic, so we'll see if it's still the same here with the final result. First thoughts on Baylan Skoll. I think he looks really good. I expected him to be a little bit heavier, but he is pretty tall compared to other Star Wars characters, and that face sculpt looks absolutely amazing, just as I thought he would be, and just as I thought he looked on the prototype. So I would say we are off to a good start. The outfit is looking pretty nice as well. So yeah, I would say we're off to a good start. Nothing too bad that I can see from the figure, but obviously we'll take a look at the figure a little bit more in detail later on. But for now, we'll start with the accessories. We'll do a side-by-side comparison with Admiral Thrawn, and then of course at the end we'll do a couple of poses and just give my final thoughts on the figure. Okay, we get to the accessories, and sadly for the accessories, we don't get anything like specific that goes for Baylan. Obviously we get a cloak, as you guys can see, display base, hand pieces, and lightsabers, but those are things that you can see for other figures as well from Star Wars. So we don't get a specific accessory that comes with the guy, but I'm okay with that. We start off first with the display base. We're gonna get your typical Star Wars flooring, the rectangular box, the nameplate of Star Wars Baylan Skoll in a metallic kind of font or coloring, and then of course the crotch grabber that goes installed onto the display base. Nothing different about it. It's the same display base, unfortunately. That is something that I wish they would change, but I guess we just have to stick to this since it's something that I think Lucasfilm's orders to Hot Toys to do. So that would pretty much be the display base right now for the figure. And then we get his cloak or cape, whatever you guys want to call it. The fabric of it is very different and unlike something that I've ever seen for previous figures. But one thing that I am really liking a lot is the hood that goes on the head of the figure. So pretty much the material, I'm not sure if it's pleather or actual leather, but it's got wiring on the cape. And the thing is that it's not too wide of a hood, so I feel like we're gonna have an easier time of attaching it onto Baylan. More on that a little bit later on. The weathering on it is it's absolutely amazing. I love the feel to it. It feels dirty. It feels kind of old school, and then we do kind of have that kind of brown color scheme at the bottom, which is accurate to the movie. It does have wiring also around the whole cape. I think it has around 4 to 5 lines of weathering. So to me, the cape is a good thing, and also it has this kind of little clip in that you're supposed to attach once you get it onto the figure. Me, I'm more of a magnet guy. I wish they would have done magnet, but at the same time, this isn't a bad thing. I think we should be able to find a way to get it onto the figure with ease. Again, more on that a little bit later on once we're talking about Baylan in detail, but I like the cape so far. It looks pretty cool. And then we have a lot of hand pieces. So one thing that I wanted to mention is that even though we don't have a lot of accessories for the guy, to me personally, call me crazy, but for a Star Wars character that uses the Force, I'd rather have pieces of hands to use the Force, like a variety, instead of having more accessories. Like, as you guys can see right here with these hand pieces, we get some closed fists, we get 2 hands to hold the lightsaber, and then the other hand on the right side, the one that I'm holding right now, I really don't know yet what to make of it. I'm guessing maybe if he's gonna have like a pose where he's joining his hands, maybe to have one hand over the other, I don't know. So just I guess a little bit confused about what that would be, but what I do like about the hands is that, well, not the hands, but the gloves, is that there are motion lines, so that is a good thing. Here, other hand pieces as well, so these would be pretty much, I would say, some to use the Force, some are more like just relaxed hands, but as I mentioned before, I prefer to have options whenever it comes to posing the figure using the Force, like we have here with Baylan, instead of getting other small accessories that I might not end up using whenever I pose my figure in my display case. So again, I'm okay with them not including other accessories. I think the fact that we get a lot of hand pieces gives me a lot of options to pose the guy, definitely whenever we do that at the end of the video. But I think we get a total of around 11 to 12 hands, which is most that we do for a Star Wars character. And then we're gonna get the lightsabers. So you guys know I'm not a fan of lightsabers. Unfortunately, the light up effect is not good enough at all with these lightsaber effects. And then just know this, the lightsaber for Baylan is kind of like a red-orange coloring. It's not fully red like your typical Sith character. So just imagine if the red doesn't even light up that much, just imagine how lower the orange is going to be. Again, I don't blame Hot Toys. That's the color that the figure has or the character, but as always, I like to try out just to see how well it connects. And right now Hot Toys is sticking to that LED box that pretty much you connect the USB cable, which they never include one, and then you pretty much just turn it on. And looking at the effect right now, well, let me first turn off my light camera and also my room camera so that way you guys can see better. And yeah, it's, you know, obviously my camera is not going to show it, but as I'm seeing this in person, the light up effect is just not that good. I've seen better lightsabers. There have been some lightsabers where they've done, I guess, a decent job, but not this one. This one, unfortunately, once again, lacks the lighting effect. I just don't understand what they're doing, in all honesty. Because again, to me, a lightsaber is something that really gives a lot of definition to the character. And to me personally, I'd rather pose the character without having a light up lightsaber and without the cable than having myself, you know, force myself to use the cable if the lightsaber is not even going to turn on that well. So that unfortunately is a complaint of mine. The lightsaber, once again, is not good, but thankfully the hand pieces and the cape work well enough for me for the accessories. Okay, and now to Baylan Skoll himself. So obviously Ray Stevenson is the actor who played the character. Once again, may he rest in peace. And looking at the head sculpt, to me this is a perfect head sculpt. It is a perfect head sculpt from every single angle. I can see Rey, and just look at the skin texture, the motion lines, the hair, and how well textured and sculpted it is. The paint applications onto the beard and the hair are so nicely done. I love the gray coloring to it, and again, the wrinkles on his skin, I can tell that it's an old person, even if I didn't know who Baylan is, so that is a good thing. This thing does have a seam line where the neck gets connected. The good thing is that because of the hair and because of how high the outfit is on his neck, that seam line on the neck is not that visible. And obviously we're supposed to remove the neck just so that we can go ahead and get the option of moving the rotating eyes, which I will show a little bit later. As far as the outfit, to me, I always thought that the outfit was a little bit weird. I thought that the Ahsoka series did a weird outfit on the guy, but basically we get armor pieces that are just made out of regular plastic that go attach onto the figure. I have never been a fan of how they attach these pieces. I feel like they fall off too easily, and I've always been a person that believes that they should use magnet. Unfortunately, they don't do that, and then that's something that it's really unfortunate. The black undersuit, I do believe, is made out of fabric. It looks pretty nice to me. I do like that. And then this green part of the top outfit is kind of made of this rubbery plastic. It has some clip-ons right here on the back, as you guys are able to see, that makes this thing go attached. The suit is not removable in any single way, and that includes the belt. So the belt, thankfully, is made out of rubbery plastic. No pleather for the belt. That is a good thing. It has the green crystal that he has on the belt, so that is accurate to the series. And that little clip right there would be to install the lightsaber. These little things right here on top of the belt, I think, are to cover up, and so that they can make. So I think Hot Toys pretty much wanted to make sure that we don't try anything to remove the outfit, as most likely it would not be able to be put in the same. This part right here of the undersuit, so it's weird. It's kind of made also as the same fabric as the cape, so it's kind of like a rough, patchy type of fabric. The undersuit, same thing as the top undersuit. It's made of a soft fabric, I would say. Again, sorry guys, I'm not too good with the materials. I'm just kind of learning as I go. I'm hoping that I'm mentioning the details right about the fabric, but I'm just going based on the feel. That top part of the suit is kind of made of this rubbery, not rubbery, excuse me, kind of patchy, hard fabric. And then the boots themselves, once again, we don't get pleather. That's another good thing. So they're colored black, but man, are they dirty. These things, again, they're supposed to be black, but there's a lot of weathering and dirt applications done onto them. There is a split boot cut design, so you guys can see the seam line in between the ankle. But one thing that I am going to complain about is that, look, to me, I'm okay with this. It's going to give me an option to pose the figure a lot because I'm able to articulate the ankles in different ways. But this is my issue with this. The fabric of the pants is not long enough, and so I'm able to see the ankle right there. Now, obviously, I'm able to adjust the leg armor so that we cannot see the ankle, but still, no, like, to me, this is just kind of lazy by Hot Toys, by them not making long pants enough so that it can cover the whole leg. So, to me, it doesn't really look that nice, but again, the good thing is that we don't get any pleather, and the legs feel so loose, so I'm sure that I'm going to be able to move this figure in so many different ways. The armor feels very loose. That could be a good thing, but also a bad thing. I like when the armor feels stiff and hard, so that way it's not movable whenever I'm posting the figure. But still in all, I think that it looks pretty nice. The whole outfit looks nice. I really don't have a big complaint, just those ankle joints. One thing that I also did forget to mention is that the armor on his arms and legs does have kind of like a battle damage type of paint applications to them. So there's some scratch marks on it and makes it seem like the guy's been in battle. So did want to kind of point out that about the figure. So now I want to go ahead and add the cloth and switch out the rotating eye so that way you guys can see a different view of him right now. Ooh, okay. How about this right here? My goodness, how great does he look? Now, obviously, I did not adjust the cloth that perfectly. I just kind of wanted to put it on top of him. Once I do the posing and final thoughts portion of the video, I'll kind of just, try better to pose it. But man, this thing looks good, man. He looks so good. And the rotating eyes is such a big game changer. So right there, pretty much I have him looking kind of up, so that way it gives him this kind of serious, mean, evil look to him. And then with the cloak, the hood, on top of it, even better. You guys do also have the option of removing the cloth as well, so that is completely up to you. The guy looks absolutely amazing, and there's no question that I'm going to pose him with my clothes whenever I do have him on my collection display case, because he just looks that awesome. And man, I cannot get enough of those rotating eyes and how mean that look is on Baylan. As I mentioned before, to me, the head sculpt is a perfect one. It looks great from every single angle. I can see Rey, and the rotating eyeballs, it's just a bonus part to me, in my personal opinion. As far as the cloth itself, so the good thing about it is that I just mentioned that I had an issue with the ankle joints, but this cloth is really not long, so you guys can find a way to kind of cover the boots if you guys want to, so that thankfully shouldn't be an issue. So again, I would say that is a good thing. So I like the clothes, I love the head sculpt. This guy looks absolutely amazing in every single way. Okay, and now back to normal. So there are not any other things that I really can add on to it. So let's go ahead and take a look at our articulations with the guy. So the guy feels very loose. He's not as heavy as I thought he would be. So starting off with the ankles move so much. Again, as I mentioned before, there is a seam line. So there is a ball joint that goes attaching between the ankle and the foot. And man, this thing moves a lot. I don't think I've ever seen feet move that much as they do right here with Baylan. They move side to side, to the front, to the back, any way you guys want to move it. Yeah, this thing is really loose, and again, as I mentioned before, it's a good thing and a bad thing, because pretty much you guys can pose it in any single way. As far as the feet, the good thing is that there's no kind of like line that prevents us from stretching out the legs, so you guys can pretty much move out the outfit and just extend the knees as high as you guys want it to do. As I mentioned before, the legs are really loose, so they are very articulated. And as you guys can see, the legs move to the back very nicely. They do also move to the sides very well, so I don't have any issues with the leg articulations, in my personal opinion. Now, the top part in his waist, he's so heavily padded that there's really not that much articulation on his waist. Again, I'm okay with that. I don't think I really need to pose this guy in any type of like weird or random poses, so I'm okay with the waist articulations. And then the arms, thankfully the armor on his shoulders isn't really something that intervenes. It does a little bit, but not a lot, since it's just barely connected, kind of like with this type of tape type of glue. I guess that's the way that the armor is attached to him. But as far as the arms, they articulate very well. As you guys can see right there, the elbow, it moves very nicely. The arms move to the sides as well. So I think the armor with the hands is pretty good. And then with the head sculpt, the beard does get in the way, so I'm not able to move it to the bottom that much, but to the top, it does move very nicely. To the sides, moves pretty nicely. Again, there is a seam line in between the neck and the head sculpt, so that allows a lot of more movement with the figure. And then it does turn completely around with the figure. So to me, articulations are good. I would probably see only the waist kind of does get in the way, but everything else is fine. I think I should have an easy time posting this guy at the end of the video. Okay, and now for a quick side-by-side. So, as I always like to say, with side-by-side comparisons, I could include any character from Star Wars and just make a comparison, random comparison, but I always like to include characters that it makes sense why I'm putting them together on this part of the video. So, for now, I could have chosen anybody else, but I'm only doing one comparison, and that's going to be with Admiral Thrawn from the same series. These two characters, I love their chemistry, even though they did not have a lot of scenes together. Still in all, I think that, look, obviously, I think you guys would agree, the best part of the whole series to me was seeing Anakin again, or Hayden Christensen play Anakin. To me, that was the best part, seeing him with the Clone War armor, seeing him with the red lightsaber, the scenes that he had, it was amazing. I thought Ahsoka, Rosario Dawson did a fantastic job as Ahsoka as well. But to me, these two characters, they both were badass in every single way. They have this demeanor to them that I really like a lot. And to me, both characters I am a big fan of. I really like both of them and how well they acted. But both figures are really nice. To me, there's no question Baylan is the better figure. Number one, he doesn't have any type of pleather to him. Also, the outfit is much well put together, I would say. But I will say that both head sculpts are basically perfect. They both are amazing in every single way. It's a hard choice to pick which is the better head sculpt. By a skin of my teeth, I'm gonna go with Baylan just because of how well the skin texture was done and also how well sculpted his hair is. But you can't go wrong with either of the two. I think both figures are amazing, and I'm happy that I have them in the collection. This is just the beginning. I do, again, as I mentioned before, plan to get more and more figures from the Ahsoka series. Right now, they are on pre-order. Okay, everyone, so we have reached the end of the video. As always, I get to post Baylan in different ways and just give my final thoughts to him. So, obviously, as I always like to say, I don't consider myself the best person at posing. I try my best, but I think there's still a lot of room for improvement and a lot of things that I can learn. At the same time, I don't like to risk breaking my figure, so I do limit myself a little bit. But still in all, to me, this figure was very easy to pose. The fact that we have those seam lines in the ankles, even though it's not the greatest look, it's a good thing, and the fact that we don't get any pleather is such a great thing to know, because that means that there's nothing about the suit that is going to get damaged in any way. So this should be a figure that is going to last us a while. At the same time, though, it's heartbreaking to know that Rey is no longer going to be able to play, obviously, Baylan. I was such a big fan of him. I thought he did a fantastic job of playing the character, and it's just sad to know that we're no longer going to get that chance. But I think that Hot Toys did a great job of honoring him with this figure. To me, as I mentioned, the head sculpt is perfect. The outfit is great. The cloak is as well. I like it a lot. The hand pieces of him using the Force, it gives us a lot of options to pose the characters. So to me, I really like this figure a lot. It's hard to find any complaints. I would again just say the ankles and how they didn't do the full outfit, so you guys can see the whole skin pretty much of the leg. So that is a small complaint of mine, but that's about it. Once you guys see right here the figure in posing, he just looks absolutely phenomenal, and I'm willing to go as far as to say this is my second favorite figure of my whole Star Wars collection. The first one would still be Vader from the Kenobi series, but look, I have Vader from Return of the Jedi. I have a couple of Luke figures, a couple of Obi-Wan figures. I have some of the figures from the Attack of the Clones latest release. I have Moff Gideon, some figures from the Kenobi series. So I have around 15 to 20 figures, and I can honestly say this is my second favorite figure of the whole collection. He's just that cool, and I really like him a lot. So just to end the video, guys, as always, want to thank you for supporting the channel. I want to remind you that if it is the first time that you're watching me, to like, comment, subscribe, and join, so that way you guys can support the channel and I can make more figure unboxings and figure reviews. Reminder that I am on TikTok and Instagram. The links to that are on the description of the video. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in today, and I will see you next time.